Hello everybody, welcome to the God Mode channel for another Friday night D&D game in our current campaign of Lucent Odyssey, a game that merges Dungeons & Dragons 5e along with Oregon Trail homebrew rules. I'm Jaso the DM, and who else is joining me this fine Friday evening?
Hey everybody, it's Luke. I'm playing Lincoln, who is a Warforged Fey Wanderer Ranger / Echo Knight Fighter.
What's up, guys? My name's Kevin, and I'm playing your Clash Tar Druid.
What's up, everybody? My name's Slim. I'll be playing a bugbear rogue by the name of Uncle Jimmy. How you doing?
By the way, Amanda / Opie is out for tonight. So the screens are probably going to be fucked up. I got a lot of quit in me tonight. I'm not fixing them, so you may just see you may just see some portraits in weird spots. I'll fix them, and then she'll come back next week, and I have to fix them again. It gets laborious. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
Hey, I'm Kyle, playing for Professor Bark, Furball Alchemist, Artifice, the Circle of the Moon Druid, Dean of Natural Science at the illustrious Ravis Eterna.
Hey everybody, I'm Nick. Playing Forte. He's a dwarven mechanic. He helps the well-wishers with the wagon getting from place to place, and is hoping Lincoln keeps him safe from the Fey people in case they find out that he is a cleric that does not use the nature.
Why would anything bad happen to you?
It's not that it's bad, it's just they may not be happy or take it as offensive.
Thank you, everyone. This is Lucent Odyssey, I believe session 33, is pretty wild. Some quick housekeeping notes before we dive into our session. The same spiel you're used to by now. A huge thank you to Amanda Otten for the beautiful character art that you see for all of our characters on the screen. Make sure and go support her. I put the link over to her Twitter in the chat. Give her a follow. She does commissions pretty frequently, so if you're looking to go support her and maybe get some character commission stuff for your own character or characters in a D&D campaign you're a part of, make sure and go check her out. At the very least, give her some love, give her a follow. She did a great job. We use channel points here on the stream, so while you're watching, you're building up channel points. You can give +1 rolls to everyone if you'd like, even me, and for an entire session, you can give a random player either the forlorn or elated condition. It's all random though, so you just roll the luck of the die, and someone either gets a bless or a bane for a session. Fun stuff there as well. We also use stream stickers here. Mama Bear was littering the screen with quite a few of them last time. That was a lot of fun. We use a ton of homebrew rules here, so if you're curious how those affect the gameplay here, a relatively modified version of our D&D stuff that we do for this game, make sure and punch in rules. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Yeah, punch in ! rules in the chat. You can go check them out here. If you want, go support any of my other links. I got a Patreon that gives you behind the screen access to like D&D notes for this stream, as well as early looks for some of the other content we're prepping for the stream outside of Friday nights, because I do stream Monday and Wednesdays currently, and we are putting together a new ttrpg that we're building ourselves that is geared towards Twitch and has some monster catching elements that everyone in chat can become a part of. So come check that out and come be a part of it. Super fun. Also, if you're looking to join in a game that could be like Lucent Odyssey, or like some of our other Friday night D&D campaigns that are spelljammer centric, go check out my startplaying.games page. I'm a pro DM looking for some more peeps. I have a person interested for a Monday night Lucent Odyssey game, so if you want to join in on that, maybe discover some locations that ultimately my team here on this stream doesn't, repurposed and repackaged this game to have some other people come and play with us. Kind of like a more open-ended hex crawl adventure. Go check out the details and hit me up if you have any questions. I think that's pretty much it for all of my spiel. So let's go ahead and I'm going to roll the intro, and while I do, I'm going to hand out some inspiration to my players, and then we'll come back and get ready to give a recap from last week and dive into some more. So
slot is it? Level 1 spell slot?
Level 1, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have spell slot, and that'd probably be better for you.
Thank you, sir.
And that's I could take it. I go through kind of a bit of spells sometimes if we need heals.
Level 1s you go through?
I mean,
It's
I
only
have
level
one
1s.
spell. That's fine. I mean, hey, in a pinch, a level 1 heal will do.
It's true. What do you have for a card?
It'll do a dollop.
+2 on a tackle. So
Oh, the
perfect.
same one I got,
For
yeah.
you. Yeah.
Okay. Cool, take that. Anybody get the extra card for Opie?
No.
Yeah.
This is my first time playing a second character.
Grab one of those, bud.
Forgive you this time.
Ah, she got shit. It's alright, that just means I'll use it so she gets her own next week.
There you go. Okay, it looks like Forte for recap, right?
Yeah. Just
sick.
barely.
All right.
Oh,
good Jimmy, close.
19.
Yeah, okay, Forte, to the best of your ability at least, if you don't mind, please tell us what happened last time on Lucent Odyssey.
That is my favorite announcer voice that we've ever had. So at the last time we were together, we had a run-in with a little guy, not Opie. Little guy was making violin sounds, all kind of crazy, and brought forth a gigantic arcane machine of some crazy origin I could not figure out. It was very scary. It had big tentacle arms. It grabbed us. It attacked us. And the conductor was making it do things. So we figured out how to disrupt it. We broke it down. We beat it. Almost died. Very scary, but we survived. They exploded. It kind of hurt us, but we pressed forward. We went to go find the screaming altar that the Fae have. We gave it the idol that gets cold when we get close to it. That did something for us that still escapes me. I don't understand Fae. We had our druid friends scout out the scavenger mining camp. There was a bird and spider thing, and it was very scary, but they made it. They told me all about it. That's all I know. Uncle Jimmy, very clutch person with the good hands, finds Gleetlekins for us, and then we found an extra blightstone, made us very, very sick and sleepy, but we made it back to Lankin's mom's house, the house Dreadmore, and we are now feeling a lot stronger because we have defeated many things in combat. So hopefully now the house will help us by giving the essences of the strong monsters to them.
Hey,
I don't think she's my mother.
It's Mama Bone though.
Guys, let's all meet at Lankin's mom's house.
So it's it's formality. It's not Lankin's mom, but maybe relative of some sort. But it's okay.
She ordered us Papa John's.
That's a good mom in my book. We get pizza party. Maybe can stay up and play video games. Not sure.
She went to Blockbuster too.
Speaking of, I forgot to ask at the top of the session, did anybody get anything cool from hitting level 10 that you'd like to share?
+2 dex.
Okay, what's that put you at? 20 now?
20.
Here we go.
Oh, that's me too. I got a 20 dex now as well. Slippery
Nice.
little bugbear.
Almost like Dex is like the premier stat in this TTRPG.
I hope they fix that.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, boy,
It's
Mr.
really funny
Lincoln.
that Tainara has a 20 charisma.
He is very, very naturally
And a 20
gifted in
wisdom
helping us.
at that point.
Has Tyne ever
used
tried to
20s, yeah.
use any of his charisma for anything?
No.
He's just got that riz.
It's not. He doesn't have a silver tongue, but I guess I don't know. Maybe he looked.
He had
Maybe
a
he's
giant
good
elephant bulge.
He's prehensile
Why he
from
just-
living in the woods.
His trunk or his trunk.
But I got another level 5 spell.
Ooh.
What?
Because Got some more healing for everybody. Mass cure wound.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a druid. He can change his level 5 spell every time he rests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
What's gonna be really fun is I can heal all of us with that, and then the unicorn will heal all of us also at the same time.
Yeah.
Kill Kevin.
I'm slotting Sanctuary at this point. I'm gonna slot Sanctuary and force him to attack me instead.
One of you need a spell to give me more AC.
I have it. Yeah.
Bark skin.
Bark skin, get it?
Is that your coined ability?
No, it's Moonbeam. It's always Moonbeam.
Oh, Kyle, were you saying something about Opie getting something?
I'm going to tell you, I did get a pretty cool spell.
Yeah, what'd you
What did Opie get?
It may be just because of other campaigns, but I picked up, obviously, the best spell ever, Freedom of Movement.
That's a good one.
When it matters, it really matters.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's also very awesome. Here, I'll put it in. Yeah.
Oh, Nick, you got a +1 from Mama Bear, by the way.
Thank you, Mama Bear.
And
Very
then
nice.
And then, Mr. Lincoln, me and Mr. Lincoln have been playing that knife game where you stab between your fingers, and I've gotten really good at it. I got a level 20 dexterity skill.
We can all do this now. Me, Jimmy, and Opie can all take knives and try to stab between our fingers.
That game is too violent for me.
Also, spending a bunch of time with Mr. Tynar, I think I can speak with plant now.
Oh, that's funny.
It depends on whether... I'm not sure if I can, but I think I can.
They have interesting things to say.
Would Lincoln be like Bishop from Aliens when he's doing the knife thing?
That's like immediately was hey Forte, you want to see a cool trick?
I'm in
Like,
the
what's
pipe
gonna
5x5.
What's gonna happen if he accidentally messes up? He's gonna hit his bone finger with his bone dagger. Nothing matters.
That's why I thought it was funny for Opie to learn it from you. There's no cost of learning from you.
No. Opie got hide in plain sight. He got the thing where he can spend a minute and camouflage himself to get basically passed without a trace whenever he wants.
Nice.
I mean, that's pretty sick. Yeah.
I was also thinking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, pretty awesome stuff. Yeah, you all have. What did we? You guys started at level 3 in this campaign?
Three,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh. All you
Maybe
all have
4.
grown.
I don't know,
Yeah.
4. No, 5.
So, yes, some around. Lots of levels either way. Yeah. So, as you pointed out, thank you for Cap. You had visited all of the unseelie godlike statues that presided over several different regions here in the passage, offering them an effigy to appease them, and having done that, began to return to House Deadmore to visit again the lady of the house. And that is where we kind of left off last time. It is blight time, and so as the trek, the path, which typically there is not one here in this kind of mountainous region, but as you continue to press on, the torchlight from the wagon begins to light up a path that begins to form here in the winding mountains. As you continue to take it, it begins to lead you in a familiar ascension where there is an opening in the craggy outcropping of rock that makes up most of the jaws of Oblivia here. And in time, knowing that you are in a familiar place, the edges of the light from the lanterns on the wagon, as well as probably on some of you between torchlight or your items you carry, you can see the outer layer of House Deadmore as you come up to the 2 wooden front doors. There is, I don't know if I explained on the front of the doors, one of those kind of like knocker with a skull on it and kind of sharp, jagged teeth as you can knock on the door. After a couple minutes of silence, there is a creaking as one of the doors begins to open, and as it does, the familiar visage, I should say, not necessarily face, since face is shrouded, of old Mama Bone begins to peer out. You see the hooded figure slowly look to each of you and say, "Oh, you've turned all in relatively one piece.
Yes.
Please, come in."
Blanket walks in without a second thought.
He opens a door as each of you step inside.
Jimmy politely tips his hat and nods to her.
It's
Milady?
dark in here. There is no light at all. And quite literally, the only source of light coming from the torchlight that one of you may bear. Or I think, Lincoln, you have like
I have a lantern.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's literally just coming from this source. They don't have like any candles or anything that are lighting the estate here. Soft wind blows through one of these sort of broken windows nearby as it kicks up some leaves and things like that of small debris and dust that has littered the floors here. If you had met Old Mama Bone and Lady Deadmore here, you would be convinced that this place had been abandoned for probably a century or more, just from the old look of the entire place. Old Mama Bone waves a hand and says, "I assume you come to speak with the lady once more?"
Yes, we come bearing good news.
I could taste in the air. Please, follow me. I'll take you to her.
Of course. Come, everyone. We are to be in her presence once more.
Hope he's just standing there with his tongue out.
With his tongue out.
Nothing, Mr. Lincoln.
Come. It is safe.
All right. Old Mama Bone leads you through a extended hallway and into the open space of the throne-like quarters. Up ahead, you don't, before seeing the throne-like chair that Lady Deadmore sits on, each of you, even in the darkness, in the pure darkness of Blight, where you have never seen anything pierce through it, right, literally at the edge of your hand, that's about as much visibility you have in the Blight time. However, in this one instance, for the first time, through the darkness, with enough distance where it shouldn't be visible, you see the sparkling pupils of the lady.
Oh, yes.
You can... go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, Lincoln walks forward and does whatever thing that they do. If it's about, it's that. If it's...
I guess it would be whatever Lincoln does.
I guess it's about, yeah. I can't think of anything more fey than that.
Removes his skull, tips it.
My lady.
My lady, oh no. Stepping forward, you can now see the shape of Lady Deadmore bathed in the light, the soft light coming from your party. She looks to each of you, her figure as before, gaunt looking, pale, and as she begins to speak, her mouth does not move. However, it's not like a psychic thing. You hear a voice coming from her. It doesn't seem to be something where her mouth animates to speak it. As she says, "Welcome back, Lincoln, and everyone else. I have sensed something do you come bearing good news?
Indeed. Queen of air and darkness be praised. The ritual is complete.
I sensed it from the moment of its completion. I sensed that it was done. You have done well, Lincoln and others. For this, I offer a form of tributary, a piece of equipment that your party, should you need it and find it useful to take part in, something for you each to have.
You are generous, Lady Deadmore.
As she says this, she holds up a hand, and again, as she does, you almost make out that below her elbow there is a bone that seems to extend from it behind, almost like her arm is puppeted, as she holds a porcelain white palm towards each of you. In her palm, there appears to be a draft token with a skull.
Oh shit. Is it like an undead thing to pull our wagon?
She says, I will be sending this to those you call the helpers, and you may call upon it when you wish. Take a look. And you all begin to hear the sound of shifting wood as, taking a look to the right, beginning to come into view from the torchlight, you're all able to see the visage of a new, don't know if you'd call this a beast of burden. This one looks a little different from the others.
Look at this thing!
It's huge.
Choo-choo train.
Coffin.
Is it just like a floating coffin?
It looks like a coffin on wheels that slowly rolls up. It's much larger than a typical coffin would be. Seems to be made from a thick oaken wood, and a stylized carving of a skull with a jagged teeth lie on the front. Lady Deadmore turns and says, "Behold, it is the Trojan hearse."
Oh my god. I'm gonna show my age here. This is like if Pee Wee Herman went to Tales of the Crypt. Like,
Yeah.
this thing's terrifying. I love it.
What does it do, Jason? What are those stats?
What does it do?
Besides stare directly into your soul.
I like it. It is comforting.
Instead of sharing stats with you all, the lady simply turns and says, "It is not alive. Rather, it is magical in nature. It is not impervious to damage, though it is relatively made of a hard exterior and should last. Do not expect it to help you should you find yourselves in trouble, like some of the other draft animals you may find."
Don't worry, our current draft animal doesn't help us much either.
It
This is-
instead serves one purpose. Should one of you fall in battle or through succumbing to the elements of your pilgrimage, if you are to put their corpse within the hearse inside of a 24-hour period, there is a chance that they may return again.
Nice.
A powerful gift. Thank you, Lady Deadmore. We will attach it to our stagecoach as soon as possible.
Be warned.
Oh no! There's fine print.
Those who return are irrevocably changed.
I know what you're thinking.
Professor Deadwood.
Sometimes dead is better. Like it's. This is of no concern. Thank you.
If you would wish it, you may swap for the Trojan Hearse now. Otherwise, I shall give you the draft token and send it to them.
Hope he's not here. Let's change to the draft animal. So when she's like, "What the fuck has happened to little shit?"
Yeah.
Little shit is ours, if I'm correct. We did win him, so we could leave him here with them just for now.
Or does he teleport back?
The lady tells you that she'd have an associate send him back to help her hand.
I mean, what the fuck's gonna stop him on the way there? Realistically,
Nothing.
anyway?
Yeah.
We just tell him to go back.
The
Nothing to
attendant
stop
will
him.
be dead, and then he'll just return with a blood-smeared previous orb.
Dragging the attendant back.
Yeah.
All right. This is awesome. Thank you.
I suppose that's one word for it.
Lincoln isn't going to. This might be our table talk. This might be our last time here. Lincoln isn't about to do anything rude, but if anybody wants to find out what the fuck is puppeting Lady Deadmore, may want to do it now, because I don't know if we're going to be back here. But
I was just gonna say I had a question or something for the both of them, and I'm glad you said that. If you guys don't mind.
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
I don't mind, but I won't be really helpful.
Uncle Jimmy just gonna walk up and take off his hat and say, I wanted to say thank you for your assistance before, and I know I personally still owe a debt to you two fine ladies. So, whether this would be
like that.
payment, a proper payment or not, or just a cherry on top, thank you. And I'm gonna open up the meat locker. I have all the last little bits and gibs of everything, and one piece. I took just like a little bit of the witchlight. I'm gonna give him a small piece of the witchlight bone and all the other bones and leftovers I have, and just lay them out before him. I know you happen to work on stuff like this, and it might be very useful, like for you used to have this. So, you know, if you want to take this for any of your work or as a thank you from me to you.
You watch as old Mama Bone is the one who kind of steps over and leans in. See the shadowed visage of what may be her face underneath her hood, slowly analyzing each before pulling back up and saying, "And we may take one of these to keep."
Oh no, they after we're done here, I think my portion of my work and stuff is done here. So I kept a little bone for myself as a souvenir, but this is all for you. You can take all this. This is all for you. It's a thank you. Maybe it repays my debt if you think that's fair. If not, you know, it's up to you.
Very generous.
And you look quiet and okay.
There is, perhaps, if you would, we still seek a way to circumvent the final radiant well and the toll it will take on our bodies. We would like to avoid dealing with Grim Accord if possible. And Lincoln produces the little soul jar that's got, I think, 2 shadows in it right now? From 3 now. Okay, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there were 2 Jabberwocks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It contains 3 powerful souls, and perhaps even more to come before our journey is complete. Grim Accord mentioned there may be a way to use these shadows to protect us from the light of the Radiant Well, but I would prefer to receive a boon from your magnificence instead.
The lady stares, studying the flask, as old Mama Bone comes over to step and holds up. You don't see her hands; they're just underneath her gown, as she just sort of wraps the gown around the flask that has this kind of glossy opalescence to it. It kind of glitters like a beetle's back. Certain fluorescence. She stares at it and says, "It was Grimacord's prevailing curiosity, shadow magic. It is a possibility that through the lady's actions, she could use the shadows of the terrible beasts you have slain to form a protective covering for your party. But we must be open and let you know. If we were to do so, although a possibility, it will not be as advantageous as Grimacord."
Well, this is still something for us to consider. For the time being, accept Uncle Jimmy's offering in peace, my lady.
We will wait until you made your decision, and then we will make action.
Very good. Jimmy, collect your bones for later.
Well, I owe her a little bit, so I'll just divide up some of it and just leave a few random bits and say, this is a thank you from me to you, just personally, and at least maybe to help cover part of my debt I owe to you.
There is no debt. Please, take your item. Transact. Consider it an official unsealy way.
Deals are very important to us, Jimmy. Don't be rude.
Oh no, absolutely. That's the last thing I'd like to be. I truly thank you again. You have been too hospitable. Thank you. Let's put his...
Lincoln just puts the flask back on his belt.
All right.
Lincoln does the requisite farewells. Unless anybody has anything else that they were wanting to do.
Yeah, the lady looks on and says, "Is there anything else before you part?"
Oh, man. I'm really curious, but I don't think Bark wants to upset the apple cart and figure out what Bone Lady's really all about.
I do too, but I'm not going to push it because I don't really have a reliable way of doing it.
That's what I was going to say. When I'm doing that, when I'm dropping stuff down to them and now, I guess, collecting it up, I'd like to take a perception check. Just kind of out of the corner of my eye to look up at Lady Deadmore and see if I see anything different from the first time.
You can do that. It will be at disadvantage since this room is pitch black beyond the kind of subtle lighting coming from the party light. A little harder to tell than it was during the day.
Double threes, that's a 14 total.
Yeah, you pretty much see what you saw before. The Lady Deadmore sits here at her wooden throne, which is a mixture of kind of wood and bone. She has a stiff movement to her, and though she speaks, her mouth doesn't move, but it's not a psychic thing. It does seem to come from the area around her head. Her gown extends past the oaken chair she sits in, and behind it seems to extend out. When you think of those old time, like early 1900s gowns, that has that extended into it that almost looks like a tail, except hers is magnified to a degree that is almost unrealistic, where there is it's it raises up and covers a square area that's probably like 20 by 20 feet. Just this gown that extends this far and raises up probably 20 feet in the air before kind of coming back to the...
Gotcha.
That's what you...
Well, then I guess we're good. We leave politely.
Bidding farewell to the lady and old Mama Bone, you all take your leave.
Adieu.
We resting here, or are we good?
Oh, did we need to rest?
Felt like we just
Actually, yes, you are at
We
0
pushed to get
movement,
here.
but you could sleep outside if you wanted
yeah.
to. It's up to you.
we have rested here before, and it was safe, right? Do we want to
Yeah,
just?
well, I mean, safe might be a stretch, but we did rest here before.
Jimmy, can you offer more scraps for room and board for
A
the
bunch
night?
of us do have exhaustion, so I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Please.
I got 2 levels.
Are you guys doing that thing where like you leave the estate and then turn around and knock on the door again?
Yep.
I mean, we probably would have thought to ask before we
Sure,
went through
sure.
the process of, all right, goodbye, and then knock on the door again.
Old
Well,
Mama
actually-
Bone turns and says, "It's been some time. Outside of you taking a few rooms, we don't get many visitors, but you may stay. If you hear loud noises coming from between the walls, simply disregard."
Yes, don't embarrass me, everyone.
Don't get scared of a little wall shrieking.
It's fine. Just remember, I'll be watching you while you sleep.
For the first time, that does make me feel better.
from the ceiling in the moonlight.
Well, you had to add one more sentence.
All right, y'all sleeping here?
I think so.
Okay, that means you can and don't go updating your tokens here. I think you leveled up, so we're gonna have you all when we go back to the main map. That's when you can increase the HP of your tokens and stuff like that. But for now, yeah, those of you who are suffering from exhaustion because you are sleeping in the domicile here at House Debmore, there is no need to make any con checks. Not the most hospitable place to sleep in. It's kind of a little chilly.
Speak for yourself. This place rules.
Yeah,
What are you talking
Lincoln's
about?
probably at home. I mean, actually, most of you are like weirdos who live out in the woods. Maybe that's yeah, you're able to get your rest in. Those of you who are suffering the ill effects of exhaustion can remove 1 level of it. And let's see here. You move 5 spaces, so that's 10 hours, so there needs to be 14. So let's go 12 and then 2 more. That's going to be, if someone, it doesn't necessarily have to be you, Kyle, but if someone could just mark down somewhere that 3 ticks off the harmonic flux has gone down. And then you are at 8 light time. So still a couple hours left before blight time rolls.
You said 3 marks on the harmonic flux?
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
Nice, dude.
All right,
And
you
I think
awake. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Nice. I think we repaired the wagon last time too, so it should still be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, you spent a little time touching up
How
on
does it look? Yeah.
As you go look at it, actually taking a look at it, you did do some repairs, but it's got some nicks and marks to it. It could probably use some heat.
If we had a couple hours, yeah.
Yeah, how it just well, you'd have to rest for 12, but then you'd have, or no, is it 8 hours long rest? So you'd,
8 hours, yeah.
you'd have a good handful of hours left. So Tyne, you, and Forte could probably do 2 or 3 hours if you wanted to make.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, roll a d4 for me as well. And
Technically, you have to wait the rest of a 24-hour period before moving the card again, but doesn't mean you have to just like sit around and do nothing.
We got 2 3s.
Okay, that's better than nothing. You pair the card up. It's still got a couple nicks and bangs here and there, but it's looking in better shape now.
How long? That takes what? An hour?
An hour when you do mending.
Okay. And how much extra time do we have that we're not resting?
That was 8 hours. You had to do 14, so there'd be 6.
Okay. So, I mean, mending's a cantrip. I can do it for another hour.
yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna keep going.
Get that cart looking good.
Mechanically, that's something you could do.
A 2 and a 4.
All right, that's an additional, 6? So
6.
now the card is
Yes.
looking in much better shape. After spending a good couple of hours, both you, Tyne, and Forte just kind of going along, Forte kind of crawling underneath the wagon and seeing the areas where the wood is beginning to split under the bow of the weight or just from the stress of travel, placing your hand at the wood, seeing where it's cracked, and the magic emanation of your mending beginning to like just slowly splice it back together through arcane means. You fix up the wagon.
Excellent. So if I recall correctly, we had some other rewards we were after. We were gonna go get the other checklist from the dig site and then turn in both the checklist and the robot head at Gunarm McGillicuddy. Whatever his name was. I can't remember his fucking name for some reason.
Valse, yeah.
Who do we talk to about the unseelie altars? 'Cause what do we?
That was what we just did.
Just did.
Yeah.
All right, I'm checking that off.
And we had to do Scuttle Shrine too.
Yeah, we got to stop there. I'm gonna check off the unseelie cord is done now.
Yeah, Scuttle Shrine.
So,
What?
Yes.
We need to see Voss for the robot thing, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but we got to get his other checklist first, otherwise we're gonna waste time.
No, yeah.
So they said that they could use the shadow potion, but it wouldn't, or the shadow vials, but it wouldn't be as potent.
Correct.
Advantageous.
That's
Yeah.
what
They
it seems
said.
like.
They said that they can craft a shadow shield for you, but it's not going to be as good as Grimmacord. Because Grimmacord's specialty was divulging the secrets of the shadow art.
Right.
If you are all committed to betraying Grimmacord, then it still may be our best option.
I suppose that's one way of putting it. I would,
Indeed.
I would use a different verbiage, but
Feel no
the
more.
intent, I suppose, is the same. So, yes, I believe this is a better answer, even though it's less potent.
I ain't gonna lie, out of anybody we met, I think Grim scares the crap out of me the most. That guy, I don't know.
I'd much rather deal with Lady Dread.
She's great, I agree.
Yeah,
You
she
know
might
how
have my
they-
back.
You know how they say treat your servers nice because they come in contact with your food? Well, we blew up Grimacord's whole house.
Yeah,
You know, so we weren't just a little bit rude to him.
He drops your chicken fried steak right in front of you cold and spits on it, making eye contact.
Age of Shadow Potion.
Well, anyway, Scuttle Shrine, and unfortunately, we should not explore these like extra areas because we'll get radiation poisoning. So,
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we
That-
can't get too close to the stone. Yeah.
Along the way we came until we hit the Scuttle Shrine.
All right. Moving here. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to go ahead and reflexively put this down to 1 space.
We do have that awesome bug that's going to help us, I think, not instantly get microwaved by these things.
Yeah, it's the one that lets us ignore a level of exhaustion, but we also don't even need to come within 1 square of it. We can
Yeah,
just...
Yeah.
Stay in our lane. Not looking for trouble.
It's a mark off the harmonic flux, and it's on this spot. Nothing big happens, but blight time does approach. So moving here, I'm going to require a navigation check from Uncle Jimmy, please.
Advantage.
No problem. It's 20.
Okay,
Nice.
you're fine as you all continue. And you press on here. I'm going to require 1 more check, and that's 1 more tick off the harmonic flux, Uncle Jimmy. Make sure that you reach Scuttle Shrine.
29.
You're good, buddy. It's great.
That's what I'm here for.
Rogues.
You all, through your wagon light and party light, are able to see the exterior of the Scuttle Shrine. Seen a couple of these before, most of them sitting out in an area that is surrounded by some amount of foliage. Even here in the relatively sort of craggy mountainous region that sees little vegetation, there is at least some pockets of patches of grass and shrubbery and some trees that extend around the Scuttle Shrine itself. Inside, it is naturally lit by the light of the different beetles that are attached to the walls themselves, the Gleedokin, as you step in and speak to a couple of the attendants. Many of the attendants wear masks that are carved from wood that appear to have the visage of like different varieties and species of the Gleedokin. And moving past them, you're able to speak to the Thri-kreen, who is usually one of the main attendants of the Scuttle Shrine. And I believe you wanted to show off your collection to them, was that correct?
My Pokemon.
Yes.
Look at them.
All right.
Completed more of my Pokedex.
Pull this up and see what... So let's see. Read the gameplay Bible. DM. How many have you collected that are unique?
Let's see. 1,
like
2,
8?
3,
you're
4,
at
5,
eight.
6, 7, 8. Yeah. 8
Okay.
unique, and we have 2 glow stike.
I think
So
we were gonna turn in 1 to raise the harmonic flux, and
Yeah,
then
if-
collect the reward on the 8.
if you want to, you can turn any of your copies into the the Scuttle Shrine attendees themselves. Doing so will raise the harmonic flux by 15 points.
That put us almost at max again.
Excellent.
So you can mark that off. And then, as you show off the variety of your completed collection, the Thri-kreen tells you that you have done an outstanding job and is pleased to see such a variety of creatures in one place. One of the attendants comes over with a wooden box and sets it on a table and opens the wooden box up. Inside, they grab a large piece of what looks like chitin, really tough looking piece of material, and hands it all to you, explaining that you received this reward before, but this one more powerful. This is +2 enhancement chitin. You may apply this to a weapon or armor to give it the +2 bonus, making it a magical.
Holy fuck.
Who's our best striker? Get that +2 weapon.
Yimmy.
I mean, maybe.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
What
Got sneak
weapon?
attack and everything.
Either
I-
me or Opie takes more attacks, so it would be more ones
Yeah.
added in. I shoot
I would-
twice in a turn. Opie shoots like 3.
I was gonna say OP. Yeah.
Hasn't he got a magic bow already?
Yeah, but it's a plus
Oh, no, it's
one
the
marcher.
archery bow. Or the archery bracers is what I was thinking about.
How come every time OP isn't here, he gets an awesome new piece of
Cool
loot?
shit.
To just heighten the surprise when you come back.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, bud, I rated on your character and got a whole bunch of epic gear.
Legendary drops.
Yeah, I say OP.
Okay.
I'm
I'm down for that.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
OP plus two bow.
Oh, yes.
And I mean, I know it's ridiculous, but in
Everybody
case
has
they,
a plus- everybody has a +1 that does use weapons, right?
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we got a backup too.
The attendant bows as you take this, closing the wood box and stepping away, and psychically, or telepathically rather, in each of your minds, the Thrycreen speaks, telling you that you've done a fine job. Return when you have reached a collection of 10 unique species of Glidokin. Be a wondrous.
Oh. Do we want to just fish for one more big bonus?
2 more.
How do we force that roll?
Yeah, how do we?
Is there a
What do
way
you
to?
mean?
Gotta wander around in an area that's safe and try and trigger the event.
Okay, that's what I kind of figured. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if
Could
there'd
we-
be like a specific way to just try and.
Can we ask the attendant for some way to attract them?
You know what? Make a high or low. I was like, why are there 2 copies of Lincoln? What's your shadow?
Just my shadow.
It's doing all sorts of weird things on the wall, chasing after the bugs and just being a menace.
It's making like little butterfly things with 2 of its hands.
That movie where they did like finger puppets, but they like turned into killer clowns from outer space. You're doing like a killer clown. Turns into a T-Rex.
Finger puppet.
Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Actually, make a high or low luck roll, Forte. No. Actually, just give me a persuasion check.
No. Actually, roll me a D100.
Persuasion check. -1.
Take, no. Actually, take this gun.
18.
There's one bullet
Yeah.
somewhere in here. 18.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
How do we make the bed bugs bite, if you don't mind me asking?
Roll me a D3.
You have offended me greatly.
Stop right there, criminal scum. That's a 1.
Okay.
You have offended me greatly.
The attendant sort of looks at the collection that you have on display that you brought in and turns to the Thrycreen. The attendants, none of them speaking. The Thrycreen seems to do talking telepathically. As the Thrycreen tells you all that it is proud of the commitment to the completion and safekeeping of the Glukin that you have done thus far. And as they finish saying this, there is an attendant who steps on over holding what looks like a jar with inside a sort of bioluminescent bluish liquid within that has a sort of gooey texture to it. They hand it to you.
You're too kind. What do we use this for?
I see you laugh. It's making me laugh thinking about
Like actually trying.
This is blue chew. No, the Thrycreen tells you that this is an attractor of the. This is a pheromone that will attract the Glidokin. You'll need to apply this only at blight time, but it will give you an enhanced opportunity to run into one.
Nice.
You're very generous. Thank you.
I want to be a greedy guts And Opie's not here, so he can't defend himself. Can I? Is there any way I can have that chitin upgrade my flutter blade, which also comes from the Scuttle Shrine?
Yes, yeah.
Does it have any plus stuff already or no?
No, it just has the returning. It returns to my hand. That's the thing.
Opie's not here. They will apply it to the.
That's cool.
In your face! In your face, Opie! That
Should be here.
He's fine.
They prefer
frees
it
up one of
since-
your.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say that also frees up one of Professor Bark's infusion slots.
Oh, there you go.
True.
Well, then.
It's a 2-for-1.
Yeah, the Thri-Kreen is actually would prefer this, as you suggested, since the weapon is of their own making and would be easier to apply.
This is so dope.
So now you have a +2 dagger.
Yeah.
It's good.
Which is probably because I regularly attack 3 times a turn, so that's probably a good call anyway.
Yeah. That's more damage spread across the board.
Yeah.
And the 2-hit is important because you get your extra what is it, psychic damage on your first hit.
Extra D4. That one's it's less of a big deal for that, but it's a bigger deal for Hunter's Mark.
Damage is damage. I like it.
Damage is indeed damage, as it turns out.
All right.
It's so fucking long to find the infusions every time. They're in my inventory, obviously.
Duh, stupid.
All right. So, with getting that one back, I can offer up an enchantment. Does anybody need a +1 to anything? Probably not.
Oh no, it looks like Tynar's t-shirt needs a +1, so he doesn't have 9 AC.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say,
My
I got a +1
hide armor?
AC too.
Yeah.
What is it?
What is your AC? Because I feel like if it's 12, 13's not gonna save you.
I'm 13 now.
Cold-blooded.
13
Yeah,
to
so
14 might
It's
matter occasionally.
5% extra chance. So
Well, it's more like, rolling
Yeah.
a 2 or less.
what's the alternative?
The alternative is giving it to somebody else, which is going to be the same math. So go for it, Tyne.
Who needs it
Yeah.
though? Like,
What's one bonus to your AC? Just write it on your armor.
change your armor to a +1.
My AC is already high enough being a Warforged, and Opie's never in melee combat, so
Yeah.
Jimmy's got uncanny dodge.
Yeah. I've already got a +1 armor and a +1 shield, so I'm about as high as I can go.
Yeah, bro.
Create infusion.
Oh, by the way, make sure and update your tokens with your new health. Is too. So.
Okay, Dad.
Let me update my shadow from 1 to 1 hit point.
Jason wants to provide me with full plate at some point. It'd be really cool.
Can't you make full plate? Or
Maybe.
afford it at this point?
I can fabricate. I have fabricate.
I mean, if you have the funds, then I would imagine that is one of the vendors at the helper stand. Get it there. Or probably.
It's very expensive.
That's not that. I mean, we could probably pull our money together.
Does anybody remember how much it is?
I
I'll
mean, we
look
can
on
find
the-
out pretty easily.
I'll look right here using D&D Beyond.
I remember Vobin saving up his allowance.
Oh man, by the end of that campaign, Vobin was unassailable, and he didn't even find the +3 shield that was hidden in the final dungeon, and he didn't need it.
What?
1,500 GP for just the plain plate.
Ooh, no, maybe we can't afford it.
Like a bit of bucks.
If I could fabricate it, I don't think we have the raw materials, but
Well,
We just
hey,
need to
you
find
still
a lot of metal.
You still have some stuff to do, some errands, some
Yeah.
rewards to potentially.
a particular mining company of some degree might have some of these materials in which you may be seeking.
Right. Yeah, we still got stuff to do. That's
Yeah.
Well then.
All right. So, finishing up at the Scuttle Shrine, you all technically have a day left, or I'm sorry, not a day, but like a hex of travel left before you technically need to rest. There is not really any place at the Scuttle Shrine necessarily to rest at, but they would offer that you may rest outside to just stay within, the safety's realm to not get assailed.
That would be wonderful, thank you. Yeah, thanks. Creepy method.
All right. Resting for the night so that you can just go ahead and get your stuff back. Give me a Constitution saving throw. You moved 4 spaces. That's 8. So add a 24. It's 16. So let's go 12 here. That's going to be 3 marks off the harmonic flux, Kev.
Jesus, Luke.
That puts you at 8 blight time.
Mr. Lankin, what's that delicious beverage you have there?
It's grape juice. Smells like it's gone up, Mr. Lincoln.
Love it.
It's blood.
Oh no.
Lifeblood.
What did you drain to make it, Third?
Oh no, I'm exhausted.
That's because you're drinking too much
Oh,
of this
no.
strange blood, Third.
You are exhausted.
Oh, that sucks. Well,
1 level of exhaustion.
Hey, but we get to ignore it with our new Gleedle kit.
That's true.
Hey.
Technically, you still have the level, but you ignore the effects.
All right, let me just pop that in there. Oh god, this is so bad.
I
And-
technically still have a level also. I had 2 before.
The wine, not the exhaustion. The exhaustion is fine.
Well, Tyne, you
Oh.
rested at House Deadmore. So that should put you to
me
1,
down to
right?
1.
And then resting
I'm at
here, you're fine. So you would recover from.
Ta-da!
Yeah, you're,
Oh, cool.
yeah, you're good.
Didn't do that. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, as long as you're intaking food and drink and getting a full night's sleep, you get rid of exhaustion. All right. Each of you awake. It's still blight time, but only a couple hours left before the Gleedle can begin to zoom around in the air, creating the twilight that is the Forlorn Passage. However, you do now have a bottle of phosphorescent pheromones that could attract them if you wanted to try and nab some extra ones. It's up to you. The ball is in your court. You have marked on your map the scavenger sites that you need to visit. I believe you've already done Site C. Did you collect the checklist from Site C? You did you? Last session.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That just
Yeah.
leaves Site B and Site A then, if you're trying to grab those things and then not return, but at least visit the Scavenger's Promontory, which is the main site where Valse is currently located.
All right, guys, hear me out. I don't think there's going to be any Blightstones this far north. So I say we go along this new path.
Gun it.
Let's try it. It's blight right now, right?
It is currently blight time, yes.
Interested to understand how you achieved the theory that there isn't any Blightstones in front of us, but I'm willing to test it. A man of science always is.
I would imagine that Valse and his crew wouldn't proceed so close to a Blightstone.
A sound reasoning. Let's test it.
If I'm wrong, I'm going to be the one that suffers the most. So
He's already a little wary-eyed.
Opie was good with his 10, right? He can recover a level of exhaustion.
Yeah, 10 is fine.
Okay.
So we walk too close to a stone. Lincoln just keels over immediately. We put him in the easy bake oven and he comes out human.
no, a fate worse than death. I'm a boring human.
Ping me.
Thanks.
Alright, shifting here. Gonna put you at 10 blight time. Let's get a navigation check from Uncle Jimmy at advantage.
You land directly on top of a blightstone.
It's a mark off the
Somehow.
harmonic flux.
26.
Okay, you guys are fine. I don't think Uncle Jimmy will fail this. Ping me. I'm assuming space you haven't been yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, going north.
There are no emissions from the harmonic emitter here, meaning there's nothing adjacent to you.
All right. Well, may as well just finish it off in the bunch of rocks and then up to Site B.
Do we want to use the cream while we're moving?
Can we do that?
Right?
Yes. In fact, you may want to do it now before moving to this next space, because light time will be coming.
Who's
How
gonna
long
be
does
trying to
the cream
catch it?
last, or is it just for one space?
It is essentially it's you spread it out nearby, and a Gleedokin comes, and you have the opportunity to catch it for game mechanic.
I rolled preemptively, but my next one's a 30.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, it basically guarantees you an encounter with the Gleedokin. Doesn't mean you will be able to catch it necessarily, but you can at least run into one.
Yeah, that's better than nothing.
Okay, so you guys want to spread that out?
Yes.
Okie dokie. In that case, you spread this out. I don't know why I keep moving the wagon to the GM layer. Let's undo this. And as you do, with the last sort of waning hours of blight time beginning to slowly dissipate, shifting from up in the sky, the glowing light, the Gleedokin lands nearby, beginning to crawl across some of the jagged rock that you spread out this phosphorus pheromone on as it begins to land. I would ask one of you to either make me a sleight of hand, animal handling, or stealth check to try and
Do
grab
it.
it.
Do it, Jimmy. Do it.
Biggest proud dog.
All right. Should I just take the advantage on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to use my card to get
Use your
advantage.
advantage card. I see
Not a
what
bad
you-
idea.
What's your bonus?
Plus 13.
Yeah, either way. No, this is our last chance. Yes, do it.
It's a 24.
Yeah, that's what we like to see.
Okay.
11.
You, keeping hunched over Uncle Jimmy, are able to pull yourself up just behind the craggy rock, and with a swift shift of your hand shooting out, keeping your eye on the glowing target, you feel the small claws beginning to flip around in your palm as you now hold one of the Gleedokin. Let me see here. Let's do a roll real quick. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna give me a d12 roll. Actually, give me 2 d12 roll.
You don't even know the name of my band.
Okay, we got a 1.
Again. Do it again. Do it
And one
again.
more. One more.
Someone else do the other one.
Okay, I'm doing the other one. All right, 1 and a 9. Someone who has the list of the collected Gleedokin. Do you have a
Yes.
POFAD in your list?
What you call me? Hofad. No, I don't believe so.
You don't?
No, Hofad, no.
Okay. Then in that case, you have collected a new Gleedokin, one you did not have before the POFAD.
Huzzah.
Professor Bark, since this is your specialty, you take a second to identify this particular species of Glidokin, and you may want to put this in these notes in the collection. But as you take a look to investigate this one, Professor Bark, you're able to ascertain that if you were to use the POFAD and attach it into one of the 3 slots in the harmonic emitter within the wagon, provided you are all adjacent to it or within 30 feet of the wagon, all healing magic cast on you may re-roll any ones.
Ooh.
Well, we have to put that one into ruin Jason's time.
Unicorn stalks.
You've only made us more powerful.
Guys, we just got Mass Cure of Moon.
We got
2 people with mass cure wounds too. At
and
5th level.
In the draft
I
work,
guess
they can
do we
revive
wanna
the
take-
dead.
Do we want to take off the one that has advantage on animal handling checks for draft animals?
Yeah, get that
Yeah.
shit out of there. We have a hearse now. We don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't have animals anymore.
He's getting me.
Alright.
Where's little shit?
Why don't animals like me as much anymore?
Mr. Lincoln, why do we have an animated box as a draft animal? Where's my buddy? Okay, I'll
He just puts a bony finger to Opie's lips. Shh.
Shut the fuck up, Opie.
This tastes like blood.
But I like little kids.
Children are to be seen and not heard.
The little kids.
Oh, children.
Okay, excellent job. You've collected another Glidokin and added it to your collection, making your unique collection 9 now.
Do we still have any of that cream?
No. You may have the potential to get more from them at a later time. Or you may just naturally run into another group. For now, ping me! Oh, this also put you to 12 light times, so there is no more darkness as the clouds give way. You shift here, you of course get a ping on the harmonic emitter because duh, you're close to the scavenger site B. This one's similar to scavenger site C. You actually did some initial poking and prodding at this site, but I don't think you all did anything. Kind of passed by this one.
Yeah.
This isn't the one that was like underwater, right? That was in the last zone.
That was in the last zone.
Okay, yeah.
This one looked very similar to Site C, except you all just didn't have any interactions with anyone.
Yeah, in that case, same deal. We'll just roll up, make ourselves known, and be like, hey, we're here for the fucking checklist.
Yep.
For the well-wishers.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Shift
Yeah.
here. That's going to put you at 2 light time. That's a tick off the harmonic flux Cavino. We'll remove this circle
I'm
since
sorry.
you've grabbed the checklist from here. Yeah, you basically meet with the Durgar up at the front, tell them that Vols has sent you for the checklist, tell them you're the well-wishers, and with that, they would grab the checklist and you would obtain it from this site.
How much was off the flux? I'm sorry.
Just 1 point.
One.
It's at 2. Whenever I'm moving this clock above your party, hitting these circles, letting you know to pop one down. Appreciate it. 2 more spaces left.
9 to 4.
You only have Site A now to procure checklist from. What would you like to do from here on out?
Beeline? Oh no, well, I guess we want to get this one, but otherwise beeline.
3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're technically saving a space if we teleport back to the guild first.
Yeah, that was going to be my only suggestion, is you could save a little light time by warping there first if you wanted to.
Let's do that.
Right. Using the blessing granted to you by Sacred Serenitals from the Helper's Hand, all of you touch the cart, taking a second to peer around to make sure no other nasty creatures are touching it with you, and you find yourselves
Jabberwockies, please.
find yourselves warping to the Helper's Hand Guild. saving you a little extra time. Now you could continue pushing on. You'd only have 2 more spaces left before you'd have to rest, or you could pay 5 gold, skip the con check, kill a point of exhaustion, and get some rest here, refilling the amount of spaces you could trek. It's up to you. What do you prefer?
We could probably keep going. I only have 1 level of exhaustion, so I'm not too worried.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what we're down to.
All right, ping me.
Practice.
A shift here that puts you at 4 light time. So far so good. You're still okay. And that puts you down to 1. I'm just gonna mark this down to 0. So go ahead and give me 1 more ping, please. Ping me again. Sorry. All right. It's going to put you at 6 light time. That's another tick off the harmonic flux, and it is here that you would need to rest. As you pitch your tents, everyone go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw. You move 5 spaces, that is 10 hours. You need to rest for the additional 14. So that's going to take you to 6, and 2 more put you at 8 light time. So that's 3 ticks off the harmonic flux, Kevin. Oh man, whoa.
I don't like the sound of that.
I have a question, God.
Yes.
Can I sleep inside of the hearse?
I was wondering if you were gonna do that.
You get the feeling that would be a very bad idea.
Yeah. Also, I don't need to sleep, so it would be pretty boring.
Yeah, you actually get the sense, maybe somehow from your familiarity with the Unseelie, that they truly meant only put something that has transpired inside. It seems like if you were to put a living thing inside, it would be very bad.
I don't know what you're thinking.
Opie, do the breadcrumb thing. I want to run an experiment.
Mr. Lincoln, I don't think that's right to torture things on purpose.
They're just breadcrumbs, Opie. They're not even alive.
But they're froggies. My froggies. This one reminds me of their hops. And this one reminds me of Lady Hops. And I ran out of frog names to level 10.
They Inky Blinky, Inky and Clyde.
Yeah, that's right. Inky Blinky, Clyde.
All right, Opie. I'll be watching, waiting for the frog.
ratings?
No, God damn it! No, it's gonna be stuck in my head. You son of a bitch. Jitzy just doesn't get it.
Hey, you won't go.
Finds the one eating rum, slowly crawling into the...
Just somebody, one of us just stupidly crawls in it for no reason. Just, we have fun here.
All right. Filled up and ready to roll, you may continue your trek to Site A. By the way, whoever had exhaustion, everyone's good. Whoever had exhaustion, you are freed of a level of it.
Way ahead of you.
And ping me.
Here.
Shifting here. Okay. Puts you at 10 light time. That's a tick off the harmonic flux. As the wagon travels over a nearby hill, the harmonic emitter begins to ping. And up ahead, you see a familiar sight, one that you've seen before, but one that you do not like to see, as you are all hit with a vast blow of negative energy. Everyone make a Constitution saving throw.
My theory was wrong.
You guys remember when I used my card to take advantage to catch a bug and then died from giant blightstone cancer?
I don't want blightstone cancer, so I'm gonna use my advantage.
All right, buddy.
I agree, Mr. Lincoln.
You'll pass it. You're okay.
15.
If not, we emergency teleport back and we rest.
I mean, at least
Plus
we
one in
didn't.
my-
Oh, nice. Oh God, what happened with the line?
Forte, you're fine, even despite the lethargic energies emanating from the large stone. Tyne,
I want to pump a +1 into it.
putting it to 12, is that
Making
it?
12.
Okay,
Yes.
that is going to mean that you are at level 2 exhaustion. Lincoln, 15 total, you're at level
15.
1 exhaustion.
All right. We can deal with this.
Professor Bark, same, or for Opie takes
got
a level of
19, yeah.
exhaustion.
Oh, thanks.
This Gleedlekin that lets us ignore a level of exhaustion has already been the most useful
Yeah.
one by far.
This is good.
Yeah.
Uncle Jimmy, you're actually okay with a 21. Seems like beyond 20 you're okay, which is a little tough to do a con since it's not necessarily the biggest thing for most characters here. Professor Bark.
Yeah, you can come in, honey.
I got a 10. I did a constitution check instead of a save.
Oh, gotcha.
10.
Okay, so 10
Yeah.
then you're gonna take 2 exhaustion.
Oh boy.
We did it. We found another Blightstone.
Okay, having discovered a Blightstone, I would like to ask, how do you want to try and get around this thing?
Back to the wagon graveyard.
All right, to the wagon graveyard.
In retrospect, it makes a lot of sense that it was there.
Right.
And then,
True.
Yeah, we'll just make one square
Wide
away from the Blightstone at all
Sure,
times.
sure. That makes sense to me. Okay. It is light time now, so darkness as you continue to press on, keeping a clear distance from the Blightstone. You press on. So
I don't remember us getting nuked in this spot. Maybe we should have wrote that down better.
I don't think we were like one square away from it. Like we were like here, which are somewhere close there to there, and it put a ping up here for like one of these two spots. I think
it may have
Yeah.
been it may have been one of the first times I was telling you the harmonic emitter thing, and it may have been on me that I fucked up. It's technically supposed to trigger when you're adjacent to it, not on top of it. But yeah, you guys may have actually been to that square, and I didn't. My bad.
You are a generous god.
You shift here. Uncle Jimmy, if you wouldn't mind, give me a navigation check, please. It's
not
going to put you at 2.
He's not here. What's he roll that as?
Oh, he's here.
I'm here. Cam's
Okay,
just
he's
off.
Okay.
Let's tick off the harmonic flux, and 26, you're fine. Nothing happens here. Trying to stay as far away from the Blightstone's gonna shift you here, puts you at, let's get one more check from you, Uncle Jimmy, as it puts you at 4 blight time.
$21.
21, okay, still good. And with your final push, you press on. One more check, Uncle Jimmy. It puts you at 6 blight time. One more tick off the harmonic flux. Okay, yeah, the man can't roll under a 20. Good stuff. You reach scavenger site A. Tell them who you are, what you're here for, what you're looking to gather. They confirm it, and they hand you Boss's checklist. You've now collected all of the required ones, and you are at 0 movement before needing them.
We should teleport back and pay the money to sleep off the exhaustion, in my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
That works.
And then just go straight to Vulse.
We role-played a lot of this stuff. That's why I'm kind of cutting out a lot of the in-between stuff. You teleport back to Helper's Hand Guild. 5 gold a person, but they do give you room and board where you can kind of just stay, so no con checks needed. You're going to need to rest 14 hours. That's going to put you at 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So at 10, 10 light time, actually.
And we all subtract 5 gold, right?
Yep. And that's 3 ticks off the harmonic flux, Kevin. What's the harmonic flux looking like after that?
85.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to keep track of that. That makes things worse, depending on certain markers.
I asked.
Yeah, no. When we handed in that Glidokin, it put us to 98, so it should be good.
Yeah, pretty good then.
I asked the innkeeper if they have any small defenseless animals for sale. The more defenseless, the better.
That's a good question. Make a high or low luck roll.
Just a D20?
Yeah, and just call it.
Hi. Sorry, I may have called that one a little too late.
That's fine.
Regardless, but I'll roll it again if you want.
Yeah, they tell you they have like some animals that they use for like game and hunting and stuff like that. It's like some squirrels that they.
Can I have a squirrel, please?
They will give you a squirrel for a gold piece.
I will give you 1 shiny gold piece for a squirrel.
They make sure to tell you that it is not domesticated. It's not going to listen to you. It's meant to be a wild animal you let out of a cage and then try to hunt.
That's fine.
Okay, they give you the animal.
It just needs a heartbeat.
Yeah, I mean, basically that's what he says. Anyway, so I have something I've never used before that I'm gonna use. First of all, is the squirrel like in a cage or anything, or am I just throttling a squirrel?
No.
Right now?
It's like it's like think of like a not an actual like house shaped birdhouse, but think of like how a birdhouse is built, just like a kind of curved top with no open areas except the front where you could kind of open this wooden opening for it to crawl out of. Yeah, you can hear it skittering around.
Good. Everyone, while we are en route to Vals's camp, I will be unresponsive.
Y'all see Lincoln open the hearse, and there's a skittering noise, and then he closes the hearse, and then he goes back in the back of the wagon, and he just goes catatonic. Because I'm using beast sense to see exactly what's gonna happen to this squirrel.
Okay.
It's what happened to Kevin right there. It follows.
Do you let it out of the thing that it's inside, the wood box?
Yeah, like I need to actually touch it to do beast sense. So,
Okay.
I'll open the thing, grab it, beast sense, drop it, close it,
It's
and
like
then I'll need somebody to lead me into the back of the fucking van because I can't see or hear anymore.
It's the Guardians of the Galaxy scene as a hand reaches in and the camera zooms in on the squirrel's face.
Look, it's not a rocket raccoon, it's just a dumb squirrel. What are we, PETA now? Come on.
Hope he did not ask questions, just that help Lincoln and he will explain later.
Kevin's wild shit is amazing.
I'm going to concentrate on that for an hour as we head out of the Helper's Hand Guild, and I can do nothing while I'm watching what happens to the squirrel.
Now, here's my other question. Do you put a light source in there with this? Otherwise, it's just going to be pitch dark.
Dang it!
I mean, we can say
But I can hear what's happening.
Yeah, you can hear what's happening, and you could put a light source in there. I'm just making sure.
Do you need me to use light cantrip on something? Put it in like
Ooh, good. Cast it on this cage, and then I will throw it in there with it.
It's okay. I will pay close attention to make sure I think about bright things. Shiny, happy people.
This is going great. Thank you, everyone, for indulging my dark thirst.
Pretty fucked up, Nick.
What did I miss?
Don't worry about it. Lincoln says as
just go with it.
He's being led by the hand to the back of the van. He can't see. He can't hear.
Again?
Something. No, don't worry about it.
Darkness imprisoning me.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that squirrel's in there. Lincoln put the squirrel in the hearse and cast beast sense on it so he could witness the dark transformation.
All right, ping me.
Comes an Eldrazi and just.
Let's see, what's the closest route here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess here. Oh, wrong tool. Here.
Okay, you shift here. It's going to put you at the final hours of light time, going into blight time. It's striking 12.
At this point, the beast sense would have worn off. It only lasts an hour.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, as the trek continues, as you're using beast sense, sorry for hitting the mic. Lincoln, you have, is it all the senses of the squirrel?
Let's see. While pursuing through the beast senses, you can use your action to see. So I'm constantly concentrating and using my action to see through the beast's eyes and hear what it hears, and continue to do so until you use your action to return to normal senses. So I see and hear everything that the beast sees and hears, but I don't feel what the beast's feeling.
Okay.
That's a sense, bro.
Well, it specifically, it just specifies eyes and ears.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Eyes and ears?
Yeah. See what it sees and hears specifically.
Okay. Through the senses of the squirrel, Lincoln, you see it beginning to skitter out of the wooden box that it was kept in. The box hit with a light spell from Forte, so it illuminates the wooden interior of the Trojan hearse, which inside doesn't appear to be anything special, just quite literally a hollow inside. It's like a larger facsimile of like a coffin, almost comically so. There's no light other than what comes from the box, and at first the squirrel acts naturally, curious, skittering around. Eventually, after a couple minutes, it begins to try and crawl up the sides of the wood, and it's able to get up some ways, but realizes that there's no means of escape, drops back down and continues sniffing around. After 10 or 15 minutes using the senses of the squirrel, you, through the eyes of the squirrel, watch as it begins to sort of dart its head back and forth as you begin to hear soft murmuring coming from multiple areas, behind, to the front, sides. Squirrel begins to react more and more reflexively and begins to skitter around more and more scared. You can hear the sound of its chittering teeth. The murmuring begins to grow into what sounds like a chant, subtle in the distance, like there was a group of people standing in a circle surrounding the coffin, but you imagine there's nothing like that. The squirrel now begins to, with purpose, quickly begin to claw hard at the sides, trying to crawl up, find an exit, but it can't. As you see two of the hands sort of perched, grabbing onto the wood of the side of the coffin, you hear through the senses of the squirrel's ears a sick popping sound, and you watch as one of the arms of the squirrel disappears, leaving only the skeletal bone of it as the squirrel falls onto its back and begins to sling its legs around erratically. It pulls itself back up, and you can see through its vision as it's skittering around now, the bone arm that just kind of hangs attached to where the shoulder is just drags along the ground. It has no control over it. It smashes itself into the far wall as it looks back and sees both of the back of its legs have turned to skeletal as well. It screeches. You can hear the chittering continuing. The murmuring of the chants grow louder. It looks back, its tail nothing but bone. all of its limbs turn to bone. It screeches around more and more before the vision of the squirrel cuts out. You can only hear the sound now of its gnashing teeth as it screeches, and the murmuring picks up almost to a bellowing now. And then you lose all sense.
Fascinating.
You see Lincoln's eyes sort of like return to the sockets in his skull.
I was right. We shouldn't put anything alive in there.
That's all. Lincoln also doesn't retrieve it from the hearse. There's just a squirrel skeleton in there now.
You can release your light cantrip, Forte.
No, okay.
It's hoping no
I
one
guess-
see now.
Yes, there is no one left in there to benefit from it.
Did you get the information that you hoped for?
Yes. Yes. Lincoln nods confidently after being a little unsure of himself.
Lincoln's not a sociopath, everyone. He's just a skeleton. He's just a boy.
He's just a
He's-
curious little boy.
It's a 7-year-old skeleton.
How do you know what kind of pain screams a creature can make unless you make them pained? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry if you like squirrels, but
Science requires sacrifice.
see, this is because I was raised in Tennessee, so squirrels.
Oh,
Squirrels as a food source is nothing new to me. So
Lots of young, deranged serial killers.
Tennessee?
we call them good old boys, Jason.
All
They never
right.
meaning no harm.
Stand up and stand by.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah,
I think
ping me. Ping me.
we should really play Call of Cthulhu again.
Yeah, I should.
I'm thinking about it
Oh, is it?
constantly, especially after Signalis. My brain is racking.
Oh yeah, that was a Call of Cthulhu scene right there, if ever there was one. If this was Call of Cthulhu, Lincoln would have to make a sanity check.
You know, now that I've thought about it, I feel like this whole campaign is sort of like my outlet, because I feel like a lot of the elements have been horror related. So maybe it's leaking out.
Yeah.
You had
That's good.
Epicedium. You've had all this weird shit with the Unseelie Court. And a lot
false
of weird
Hydra.
stuff. The false, yeah.
We haven't even gotten to the flesh plane over here.
Right?
The flesh planes, yeah.
I want
I
to
think
pop.
it's kind of just your flavor of D&D, to be honest. I don't think it's especially different.
Is it? Oh, maybe so.
A
We're
little
gonna
bit.
we're gonna pop one of these fucking hills, though. I want to
God,
Oh, God.
Gross.
I retire from the game forever.
Anyway, we should continue onward.
Yeah. I'm not purposely stalling. Let's see, let's gonna do it here. Okay, ping me. Shifting here.
Yep, and then right down to Vulse.
Uncle Jimmy, if you would please make me 2 navigation checks, and that's tick off the harmonic flux Cavino.
The false Hydra. Just natty 20 for a 31.
Holy shit,
yeah,
it's a
you're
crit.
Get a good boy card here.
You know,
Wait.
for as many of those as
21
you
on that.
made, I don't think I remember you critting on those ever.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, actually.
So 31 to 21.
All right, with your well, not your last. You still got one more, but with second to last space able to move, you're able to shift here. It's 4 blight time. We already did 2 checks from you, so you're good. And you now have located the Scavenger's Promontory.
Boy.
As you stroll up through the light on your wagon, similar to many of the other sites, though even without any source of light, you can tell that the promontory here is probably sizably larger than the other dig sites you've seen. To Duragar, pull their crossbows as you approach, and they of course would yell out for you to identify yourselves. After you do, one of them knocks on the doors, the tall wooden doors behind them, and they crack open. You hear them turning and whispering. After a couple minutes, you all see a figure beginning to step out and wave a hand for you all. The familiar face of Valse appears from behind them. Eyes each of you and says, "Well, it's been some time, hasn't it? Come on in. I got a place where we can sit. I imagine you want to talk business?"
We do have.
Indeed.
That's all I was going to say.
Let's go for it. I'm like, yes, well, I don't trust him the most, so I guess I'll do this. Yes, we have run your errands, and we're here to collect a bounty.
Oh, that is excellent news. I got a small tin on the outskirts, just inside. Please, he says, waving one of his arms. Come on in.
I'm afraid we're quite busy. I
Lincoln.
appreciate your hospitality, but we must be along very quickly.
Lincoln unsheaths his dagger and walks inside.
Valse looks and says, just take a few minutes. I'm not asking you to sit and have a cup of tea. I'm quite busy myself.
I like having the dagger out.
Everyone come in to this dark hallway and nobody will see us disappear from.
Forte would say he's excited in Dwarven or Dwarfish, when in Dwarfish, he's excited because he got a new weapon.
As you step inside, it's almost like a complete 180. Inside of the tall walls that make the outskirts of surrounding the promontory here, it's the standard blight that you've seen before, but on the interior, there are several large sites, or several large lights, I mean to say, that sit up some distance in the air, 10, 15 feet. They seem to be filled with some type of glow rock and emit a pretty piercing light across the area, which seems to be a larger sort of dig site. Valse waves you in sort of at the outskirts of it, pointing at a tent that is lit up by several pieces of torches. This place is relatively well lit, even in the blight time, and Valse kind of waves you over to one of the tents, pulling back the curtain. As you step inside, you see a desk covered in a number of different sort of documents and paraphernalia, small stones that you're not sure if they're serving as actual things he's observing or just paperweights, since they sit on the paperwork themselves. And Valse waves a hand at one of the nearby wooden tables for you to sit at as he kind of takes a seat in his chair as it groans underneath him and says, "All right, now, I understand we're all busy folk. Let's get down to business. What have you brought, old Valse?"
Real quick, is Jason breaking up for anybody else?
Oh, am I?
Yeah, yep. Cutting out pretty bad.
Oh, okay. Let me try and pop out and back in.
Fucking voice changer.
Testing.
It's fine so far.
Okay, if it gets bad, let me know, and then I can swap to I'll just swap off of voice mod.
It's Discord and that voice changer, man. That's always what it is. They just don't mix.
I don't even have it on, which is
Yeah.
Just because you used it.
it could be. It could be. Okay. Valse takes a seat and says, "I know we're both busy people, so what have you got for me?"
Well, we've collected your manifests from your remote locations.
Excellent.
Gives them
Hand those
all the
over so I can
checklist.
take a look.
Who's got them? Did we establish who actually has them?
papers. Hello.
I don't think he actually said. Yeah.
One of us has them.
I've been assuming unless somebody speaks up for papers, your old Scholastic boy picks them up.
That sounds fair.
The only papers Tyne has are for rolling.
No.
Nice.
Nice, bro.
Valse grabs the documentation and flips through it. Quiet for like a good 2 or 3 minutes.
God damn it. I meant to look over these lists.
Wappa.
Wah, wah.
He presses a hand on them and opens a drawer and slips them inside. And says, excellent work. You saved me quite a bit of a nuisance trying to travel around and gather all this. I duly appreciate it. Done me a favor. Is there anything else I can, or anything else you brought for me? Or we could
Well-
discuss perhaps a reward for you running some errands, buddy Ball.
I don't know who has it, but if nobody claims it, Forte would just drop the emblem from the whatever.
The head of
Octopus thing.
the.
Oh yeah, the head of the robot. That's what I have in my inventory.
Well, in fact, Mr. Voss, we've done you more than a simple favor. We've done you a grand one indeed. And he gesture at Forte
The head.
to drop the symbol on the desk or whatever.
It was the head. I have the autonom head in my backpack.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm gonna delete it out.
He eyes the head and looks surprised, raising an eyebrow, and says, well, hot damn. Looks like that little guy must have given you all some trouble on your trek.
Yes, I might alert the local authorities next time something so powerful goes out of your reach. The signage you posted was insufficient to say the least. We only found it there after the robot.
Oh, well, I must admit, I don't exactly deal with the local authority. Plus, what local authority is to even ascertain here in the passage?
Good point.
Well, the Helper's Hand have sure been eschewing people from here to there. It seems a good place to start, but I digress.
They're nearly a stepping stone on the way to greatness. Don't really like to deal with them. They simply try to impede our progress. I appreciate you dealing with a little issue. This was construct from the higher-ups, my employers. Thought that with a mixture of some more sentient and, let's say, self-programmed constructs, they could maybe cut out some of the middlemen. Turns out this one in particular was an experiment that didn't exactly pan out for me. So instead of it going on and potentially maiming a whole bunch of people along the way, or my people should have come across another site, I appreciate you dealing with it.
Yes, well, we did find that. We also maybe have some information to offer you.
Even more. Well, this is incredible. It seems as y'all turned a new leaf. I thought we were never going to meet again.
Well, you see, it is good. It's a good habit to look out for your neighbors. And I point at his map and say, we found blightstones here, 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 and here. That's for free. The rest, though, we collect. We return to collect, not to do favors.
Oh, we're well aware of the Blightstones. I hope they didn't give you all too much trouble. You should have asked me about them. I would have pointed them out for you.
In retrospect, we probably should have.
Well,
It's possible information you could have given freely.
that good neighborly thing. But I
Well,
suppose
Would have happily obliged if y'all had asked. Oh, that's neither here nor there. Let's not get
if
off
you'd
on
have
a
just asked
tangent.
about the secret password, I'd have given that to me.
Let's just say I'm glad y'all are opening up to a Voss. And because of that, I will procure some nice things for you. I was not lying when I said working for me is beneficial for everyone involved. I'm able to continue gathering the resources necessary to make my employers happy, and in turn, those deep-pocketed employers are able to procure quite a nice couple of things that I'm able to dole out for, let's say, people outside of the typical ring of those that I just...
Interesting.
You were able to
We
take
have-
care of this construct for me, and because of that, I can offer each of you a nice bounty. 1,500 gold pieces to each of you.
1,500. An interesting sum, but I think maybe you have something that may be worth more. So you see, we're trying to find some rare metals, part of a pursuant plan.
Did he say 1,500 each?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We should maybe just take the 1,500, I think.
No, I mean, I agree, but I'm also thinking, like, if he's got a stack of mithril we can turn into armor, like, get even better result from
Yeah.
anything extraordinary metals. You see, we're scholastic types, we're learning. We'd like to understand a little bit more about what you found here. Nothing in pursuit of competing business, you see, just a curiosity. Call it a donation to a library or a museum.
He grins. See a mouthful of silver teeth. No, gold teeth. As he says, well, I wasn't finished.
Oh.
1,500 gold pieces apiece. That is on this construct. Y'all also bought me a nice collection of checklists, which certainly cuts down on my work. Let's say a recent person fallen into our laps has helped to provide us with a surplus of materials that we're able to come across. And because of that, yes indeed. I told you all before, the main element me and my folks here working for my employers are after is a specific metal, Dantium, said to be the hardest known in this region and perhaps others. I have a little bit extra that if y'all were willing, I could perhaps trade hands. May help you on the trek of whatever this whale business y'all are doing. Perhaps a little extra deep.
Could I do a some sort of check? Maybe even look to Mr. Bark over there and say, Dantium, huh? And try to like recall if I know of any magical properties on it.
Sure.
I'm not good, but I try to gesture to Bark. You remember that?
I imagine Forte could get some use out of it.
I would. Is it history check?
Yeah,
Dantium?
that would work.
14 total.
I don't think
You
Never thought about it or worked with it before myself.
Yeah. Uncle Jimmy, you've never heard of Dantium or Beyond Vals talking about it. And Forte, you are even sort of familiar with a lot of kind of smithing elements, metals, but Dantium does not ring a bell outside of Vals mentioning it. Perhaps it is pretty elusive, even restricted only to the passages.
You could make a set of armor from it, Forte. I can imagine no one that could wear it better.
This is one of my greatest joys is to be able to forge new things and work with new materials, so this would be advantageous.
This sounds like a generous offer. Yes, perfect.
I could provide enough of this Dantium to your party should you got someone good with smithing tools, he says, eyeing over you, Forte, which it seems y'all already got covered. If you were to craft this material, which I imagine y'all may not be familiar with, as is its exclusive nature here to the passage itself, provided you spend about a day working on it, you'd be able to fashion it into either a nice weapon or armor of your choosing, or you could augment something you may already have. Doing so will give it some nice benefit, says Wisdom. What he is suggesting is if you use Dantium on a weapon or armor piece you already have. If it's an armor piece, that will make it count as a mithril armor. And whether it is used on armor or a weapon, it will give it the +3.
Whoa! Oh, we got it. +3 mithril
Make that
plate armor for Forte.
How much?
Make that all.
How much are you? How much are you offering to provide us with?
Enough to fashion one of those items, weapon or armor. I'll let you all choose, and with your smithing hands, I'm sure you can make them happen.
Are there any negative properties to working with it?
As far as I've been able to ascertain, he leans in and kind of puts his hand to the side of his mouth, even outside of the details provided by my employers. I gotta say, I can't see a single one. They want a whole load of this stuff, and from what I've heard, they may be forging it into something special themselves. Type of outfit, suit. But that's neither here nor there, and I should probably be more tight-lipped than that. Let's just say y'all have done me a kindness, so nice to open up with someone that I feel I see more eye to eye with. But yes, as far as I can tell, stuff doesn't have a drawback. Thus the reason I've been paid rather handsomely to take my crew down here and mine as much of it as possible.
Well, hot damn. Sounds like a deal.
Indeed.
I pull out a cigar from my pack, and then a second, and I light both of them, and I hand one to him.
Oh,
Pleasure
I
as
appreciate
always.
that.
Everybody else is standing there like, whoa, hey, Jimmy, what?
I'm glad our first encounter didn't end in bloodshed.
As am I, Lincoln, as am I.
Jury's
See?
still out.
We work for each other. Not everything as you all have come across, I'm sure, here in the passage is exactly painted in black and white. Sometimes there are choices you gotta make that skirt the line. I will not admit that I am a saint by any means. In fact, I'm sure most have a grimace on their face hearing my name. But, grand scheme of things, I give a fuck all about their opinion. I'm here.
This guy. Sorry, go ahead. No, it was unrelated. Please finish.
I'm here. I make my gold. I'm taken care of by those I work for. That's all that matters.
This guy reminds me of the judge from Blood Meridian, the book, the McCarthy book. If you're not familiar with it, it's a great read. He's very much this southern kind of like devil in a nice suit, silver-tongued kind of mercenary guy. Volse reminds me a lot like him.
Or yeah, it's pretty
Sounds
much, pretty much that's false.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose our business here is concluded then.
We agree. Yep, and Blanket looks back to the rest of the group.
We agree to these terms and the rewards you have offered.
Much obliged to have you do some handy work for me. He stops for a second. There is a look of curiosity on Volse's face as it says, "Tell me, I understand time is short, but where do y'all plan to go next? Where is the end point for y'all wealth?"
Well, the last radiant well.
Well Wishers is a name and a goal.
He takes a drag off of the cigar you've given him, Uncle Jimmy, and blows it out very slowly. There's almost, you see on his face, he almost sort of drops pretenses. Smile fades, kind of looks at you with a face of serious nature that you haven't really seen necessarily from Vols before, as he says, you know, you could always stop doing that. Stop running on this. Could very well be as a suicide mission. It all come work for me.
Well,
You're
if those
all.
are the options.
You are all. You're too good for this type of stuff. This goody two shoes work. This charity you're doing for these Serenitals. This helper's hand. I understand it's important, but hell, if it's you, not you all, it'll be somebody else. They can get in line. Y'all are special. Could use hands like you got skills, and I'd hate to see it wasted finding your corpses somewhere in the flesh plane. Give all that up. Come work for me. I'll pay you well. Finish up our job here. Move on to the next. We'll have money in our pockets and a smile on our face.
Well, to that end, I suppose that one of us might make that decision. However, I lost my train of thought.
It has to be us precisely because we have the skills to finish the job.
Yeah.
No one else has a chance to get as far as we have and live, maybe, to see the results of our labor.
And so what if y'all decide not to? What's gonna happen? People here will just have to evacuate. We'll just have to pack their bags and move somewhere else, that's all. You could call this place, if it truly is as bad as they make it seem, in a dour state, provided that last well continues to erupt. We could just all move out of here. Call this place a goner. Forget about the passage. Not exactly the most hospitable even when the radiant wells aren't fully uncovered. Y'all don't have to make this your personal mission. You weren't born here. You didn't have some claim to this place. You don't have a tie to this mission. They just picked a couple of you with good skills who they thought they could use as pawns. I'm not saying I won't use you as pawns, but what I will offer you is the chance to not go on something where I think you ain't gonna come back from.
I suppose a different, less equipped set of adventurers might find that appealing. But I think we've all come to find that there is something in this work that is beyond what we can find satisfactory in a monetary gain. We're doing good work here.
And that is beside the point. Oh, go ahead, Tyler.
I am not doing this for the Serenitals either way. This is my choice. I would have traveled here whether they called on us or not.
For me, it is not a choice. This is my purpose. It is the reason I was created.
Uncle Jimmy takes a long drag on his cigar and kind of like looks around the room for a minute. You know I came here to do a specific task and I completed that already. Now that's not me selling out and saying I'm going through with this. There's a possibility in that false. I happen to have my own crew, if you will, of people I run with. And perhaps, I don't know, perhaps, maybe not directly right now, heading out of here and coming back, making a deal with my union rep, if I could bring a couple other people to work with you, you know. Big boss with a big boss, if you will, something above my pay grade. Get a little fair cut and get some more hands out here other than just the few of us, yeah. But I just had to think on it just a little bit, if that's all right.
Well, I just hope you know the reason I suggest it now. Because if y'all press on, y'all go to that last well. I don't think you're gonna.
I'd
He
like
ain't
to die
exactly.
1,000 times.
Go ahead.
I'd live and die 1,000 times just to make one person's life better, mister.
He's adorable.
One
We
little
are
guy.
aware. We are aware of the dangers, and we are trying to circumvent them.
He takes another drag and says, perhaps many of us don't exactly see eye to eye from my initial. But that's immaterial. I'm just trying to offer you a way out. But if y'all are head set on doing this, if it offers you something that coin and the safety of a confident life, whatever you want to do, ability to travel along and get good pay, stay relatively safe on the people who are going to look after you, I understand.
If we are as skilled as you think, then this will not be the last time you see of us.
I hope that is the case. I really do.
Insight check.
Sure.
Get him! Jump him!
It's a big old 11, and I'll use my good boy card here just for the hell of it,
Okay.
because I feel this is important. Gives me a D4 added to it.
Okay.
Oh boy, that's a big old 12.
All right. Is there anything specific you're trying to garner with the insight check?
Him wanting us to work with him and everything. Do I feel that he's trying to persuade us not to close the well, or do I just feel like he's just giving us an out on this?
It's hard to tell. You get the sense that he's probably just trying to give you an out. Well, y'all got important work to do. I understand. Maybe the last time we see each other. Unless somehow you're able to pull off the unmanageable. Know that you're not the first group to attempt it. May not be the...
Well, maybe you can help us make this a success. Like these Blightstones, there must be something nefarious, or at least inhospitable to us in the next region. You must know something of it.
Yeah, the whole place is absolute hellscape. My suggestion is not to go. You've probably seen squads of my men all throughout the passage. We don't take part in the final area. Even we don't tread there. I would probably be more timely for me to tell you the safe things.
Oh, sure. That would be great.
I don't even know what they are. Everything's dangerous. Stay away from it. I'm sure there may be pockets of civilization. I'm sure there may be some remnants of a helper's hand, and of course the Radiant Well itself, which is epitome of danger.
Sounds like a challenge.
I'll tell you this much. That Radiant Well in the final region is spewing out light 24/7. There is no black tide. Traveling through that area, outside of some safe place to rest at night, is going to be tough, and only gets tougher. Be careful how far you push out of safe area.
A fair point.
Yes. Wise word of caution. We appreciate that.
Or as well
Maybe-
itself, I would say stay as far away as you can.
I don't know if our cumbersome words have not quite met your ears, but we are dead set on doing that.
You certainly are dead, if you're set on doing it. let's just say perhaps y'all go peek your heads into the next region. Should you find that your task is unmanageable, I may have a couple contracts here that I would love to have some signatures. And hey, if somehow you pull all this off, you pull through and my crew is still finishing up our job of grabbing the last of this daunting, which our schedules are quickly beginning to wrap up considering we hit the Motherlode region, then there may still be room for some, he says, kind of looking up. If
Well, then I hope all of your boons and burdens we've shared today help to return us to you. Until then, my friend, I use that word out of habit. We will see you anon.
very well, he says. Go on, well-wisher.
Shake his hand and or offer to shake his hand as I go to leave.
He extends his construct gold arm. Still has the dent in it. Rotation. Several weeks, maybe even months. Beginning.
Just nod to him and, like I said, say we do make it out of there. Keep in touch, yeah?
Be up to you. Scheduled to run.
True enough.
You know where to find me if you finish it.
Just nod and release his hand and head out.
Bark yells from the door, Jimmy, when this is over, you know where to find him.
Yeah. I hope.
Just doing the Bart thing of repeating what somebody else said in his own
Yeah.
indistinct of it.
Not to ruin this, but Kevin, I think your cat's going to kill you.
Soon.
Tonight, you.
Wants attention.
Soon.
He looks like a little pathetic face.
Yeah, she wants attention.
Alright, team. Having met with Vols for what may be the last time, who knows, you're able to get a stipend of some pretty decent coin, as well as some of this fabled Dantium from the employers of Vols, whomever they may be. With it in hand, over a period of 24 hours, you could potentially craft this forte by using your smithing tools, grafting it onto either a weapon or armor piece, which will give it a +3 bonus, and if it is armor, this will mithril.
So good. You're gonna be walking around without clinking. It's gonna be amazing.
It would be pretty awesome, guys.
Well, in that case, I think we can probably. Do you guys want to just teleport to the Helper's Hand Guild and the Caelid?
Yeah.
Were
That's what I was trying-
were we gonna go back to House Dreadmore to do the potion from them?
Yeah.
Well,
Whatever
here's the thing.
Yeah.
We could explore the final zone a little bit first, because there's probably going to be like a quest board or something. Like, I don't know. Do you guys want to just beeline the Radiant Well? Like, what if there's more stuff we could find in the final area? You know.
There's
I
technically
guess
one
it
or two
depends on
things.
how bad it is in there. Like just being in there.
I think we checked the board before, and I don't think there was anything there.
The Helper's Hand Guild, from what I remember, is not fully operational out there.
So, I would.
Yeah.
I have like one suggestion. Is before we like venture off to the Radiant Well without knowing what kind of stuff we're gonna face, maybe we like just go visit this other landmark here. This Jesus Thrombosis Forest.
Oh God, no.
And then if things are shitty and we're unprepared, we can teleport back to a safe area and then maybe we could go to House Dreadmore.
I'm good with that.
Because I don't think anybody's like super on board with helping Grimmacord, are they?
I think we all agreed not to do it.
Yeah. So I yeah, you did. I think the plan then is like, even if we have to take a less effective shield, we help House Dreadmore, and then we set off on our final expedition to the well. But I want to see what's in this place first. I want to know like what we're in for.
My only asterisk on that is, do we, unless you can do it on the road, do we want to craft the armor before we go in there?
Oh yeah, 100%. We want to go back to the Helper's Hand Guild. I'm gonna buy a +1 armor for myself.
Yeah, me too, if there are any.
Yeah, we had 1,500 gold apiece. That's enough to upgrade your character a little bit.
Yeah. If anybody's not getting a +1 armor, we could probably restock with some really good potions with 1,500. Let me see here. What does 1,500 get us on the old D&D spreadsheet?
A greater potion of healing.
Potion of healing. Potion of superior healing, which is pretty darn good, is 450. So you can get 3 superior potions of healing. A potion of supreme healing is 1,350. God damn.
Does it make your breakfast and do your laundry?
Apparently. Hold on. Let's see what greater healing is, just so that we know. Let's see, potion of healing. Greater healing is that's 44 plus 4. That's not super great, actually.
Not for 300 bones.
Yeah, superior is 8d4 plus 8, which is pretty okay. Tough choices. I'm probably just gonna get the +1 armor, honestly.
Yeah.
How much is a cape of, or what is it?
Cloak of resistance.
Yeah.
Cloak of protection.
Yeah, that's
3,500. So we'd have to put some money together for that.
If so, to table talk it, if I got to use the Dauntium to make armor, whatever I have left over at that point could just become your guys' money and stuff, because I really wouldn't need anything else. I have a +1 weapon, a +1 shield.
Maybe
unless there's some other thing. Can I wear another slot? I don't really think.
Cloak of protection.
Yeah, other than stuff like that, I wouldn't need any more items. And so if there's like a scroll we could buy that would help somebody with a extra skill or something, I would just give up what I have to the pool.
I think we do our upgrades, you do your armor thing, and then if we have anything left, we buy potions.
Sure.
I got like 2,000 roughly, and I was thinking about a cloak too, but that's kind of out of range. I would look for something that either scroll or some sort of, if roll the dice on, see if there's any good magic items that could help me move around, get around, or do a little extra damage in an ultimate boss fight.
If you got 2,000 and Forte doesn't need his 1,500, that could get you a Cloak of Protection, or Forte, or was it Cloak of the Montebank? I think is like teleporty or something like that. Let me see.
What's Cloak of Protection? I mean, I'd give some money up for it.
It's +1 to all saves. It's
AC and saves. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and AC.
Yeah. Let's see here. Cloak of the Jimmy, this might be useful for you. Cloak of the Montebank is use an action to cast Dimension Door once per day. And then it leaves like a cloud of smoke behind that you can hide in.
That's really cool.
And it
Dimension Door is a 5-person teleport?
It's just one.
Mine runs over.
I don't see. Oh, it's Cape of the Montebank. That's why I did. 8,000. Jeez Louise. For once a day Dimension Door? Fuck that. That's garbage.
somebody was huffing Dimension Door dust when they came up with that price.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys have items that you need to go pull for some off and back? If you have any.
The only extra item I have is that awesome ass dagger we crafted.
I like all my items. I don't want to give up any of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
My stuff. I don't
Yeah,
have much. So.
I think our options are Cloak of Protection or potions, and they're both pretty good options.
I think settling Tynar with a Cloak of Protection is our best use for money.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
As much as I'd love to empower you some more, Jimmy.
So,
I agree.
So-
He's lifeline.
yeah, so we put the infusion on Tynar for his armor. So you have 1,500 in the bank. And then if we pull together an additional 2,000, that'll get you a Cloak of Protection, provided the fucking Helper's Hand even has it. That's the big if, you know. Like, I'm just like looking at every magic item in Dungeons and Dragons, just assuming it's going to be there when we don't even know if it is or not.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. Getting some sort of upgrade on armor for Tyne would be pretty big.
Because I don't think I need the upgrade to armor, because I'm not using my armor half of the time.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I definitely do. So I'm going to greedily take mine. But
So I'm offering a significant chunk of change with mine. I've got $2,000 too. So.
all right, well, let's teleport back to the Mountain Helper's Hand and see what they have for sale.
All right. Everyone touching the wagon, making sure there's no other creatures or monsters doing so, you find yourselves warping back to the Helper's Hand from the Scavenger's Promontory.
We start to sneeze at exactly that same time and removes his hand. Sneezes into the well of the mountain helper's hand.
Imagine you got an itch and you go scratch, but then they turn the wagon and everyone's gone.
Oh no!
It's gonna take me all day to make it through one hex.
Yeah, that would suck. So, team, finding yourselves back at the Helper's Hand here. What you want to do?
Start shopping.
Tell me what
Walk
you're
in.
looking for.
Walk in, slam down a crate of gold bars on the counter.
Also, ask if they have any of that bug juice bite. Odd chance to see if we could get maybe another Gleedokin. I mean,
That'd be super dope if we could. I bet you there's some in the Thrombosis Forest. I ask if they have magical armor for sale.
They tell you that in this region, since things only get tougher from here, they do offer +1 augmentations to armor, which is whatever the base
Perfection.
armor is with 1,500 gold pieces on top. And they also may offer, depending on what you're looking for, certain magic armor, depending on what you're trying to find.
I just plopped down the 1,500. That's all I need, baby.
Okay. And for +1, you got it.
Line my rags with Kevlar, please.
All right. Were you actually asking that question, Uncle Jimmy, about the pheromones?
yeah, I just ask straight up if they happen to have any, or for trade, for buy, or if they happen to have anybody around here.
Make a persuasion check.
Hey, Professor Bark, or pardon me, Forte, you're rather charismatic. You persuade people, right? I kind of like look around.
Not the best track record. -1 on charisma, but
I will take care of this. You remember us. We are friends. And I cast Charm Person on him.
oh no,
Yeah.
it's not good.
Okay.
It's a DC 14 wisdom save.
Lincoln is a very charismatic
Okay,
character.
in this instance, the helper's hand attendant fails.
he really likes Lincoln. I can make that. Just means I can make a persuasion check at advantage instead of normal. That's all charm does. It's not mind control or anything crazy
He
like
turns
that.
to you and says, "Yeah, absolutely. What can I help you with?" And it sounds no different than he would have probably responded anyway.
Excellent. I wheel around to everyone else and say, "He is under my spell."
He willingly failed.
I work here, bro.
It's a 12.
Aw.
I'll still roll.
Yeah, you can make a check too.
Ooh, hot garbage. Look at that. It's,
He
11.
says, "One moment, well-wisher," and turns to head behind the counter.
This is a fucking British comedy scene right here. We're all scheming and this guy's just humoring us.
Yeah.
Stepping back
It goes in the
out,
back and adds a 0 to the end of the price.
the helper's hand attendant comes back up and says, "I'm very sorry. We don't carry any of that material you're looking for, but I would imagine if you were to visit any of the scuttle shrines you may have not obtained this pheromone from, they may offer some of it sample itself. Just a guess."
That might be in the Thrombosis Forest.
There's a scuttle shrine on the way to the Thrombosis Forest, so
That's true.
What a sentence.
I know. So I like saying things that have never been said before.
And never again.
And
So yeah, he does not have it, but suspects it if you were to visit scuttle shrines and ask for a sample at locations you have not done yet. There may be some.
oh, interesting. Mithril plate doesn't come in plus versions. Only half plate? That must just be because none exist in an adventure anywhere.
Yeah, and then I also don't think I could Blessing of the Forge it to add a +1 to it.
No.
There's no +4 items, right?
No.
It's not lineage 2 or something.
It is top
You
tier.
You can customize it though. If there should be a
Yeah.
customized drop down, and
Add.
actually there's not one you can do from there either. You're gonna have to make a mithril +3.
Yeah, that's fair. That also, if we're doing that, that's going to release my Forge Blessing on my armor.
Oh shit.
So if somebody needs a +1 augment to a weapon or a armor, I can do that once per day, and we can just say it's persistent on somebody. Because
Who's got a backup weapon?
unless I can +1 a +1 shield with that and have a +2 shield.
Nah, it's not cumulative.
All right, then yeah.
I've got a staff that I use, but I've casted it. I've not used it. I've not ever used it.
Anybody spellcasting element, whatever.
Does it work on focuses and stuff like that?
It says it works on.
I can't imagine it does.
Now Forge Cleric is specifically weapons and armor.
Yeah,
Artificer can make Artificer.
Yeah.
You can make that.
So then I could do
what's the
somebody's weapon or armor, and then you could give it to somebody else.
Oh yeah, just do that. Just swap your infusion off of Tynar's armor. Have him put his Forge Blessing on Tynar's armor, and then you have an extra slot for whatever the fuck you want.
So how about that?
Nice.
We're pumping Tynar to the fucking max.
Yeah, we gotta kid him out, dude.
I'm thinking that you probably do you have save DCs for your spells?
Call lightning.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. I think that's usually the best thing to buff with the Artificer Infusion.
Hell yeah.
So, guess what, Tyler? You got a +1 AC and +1 to your spell save and spells attack.
I think that's a. What do druids use? Staves? Wands? What the?
Yeah. Stabs.
Staves? Okay. Is that what Tynar uses?
Crack pipe.
Yeah. Have a walking stick.
stick.
Yeah, it's the arcane focus, and I think you have to. I don't remember how to do this on other people's character sheets. Sorry, this is thrilling content. I know.
We're very excited right now, if I can speak on everybody's behalf, because personally, it's the first time I've ever seen a +3 item in a game I've played. So
this is also medium to end game. Also, all of us having our crafting high enough to be able to Jenga this into or Tetris this into some pretty good buffs. I mean, I think it's fallen into place pretty well right now.
I'm gonna have to Google this because I honestly don't know how to make a +1 implement in this.
I've just been keeping track in my head. I have one that I made for myself, and I just have to manually correct it.
Yeah, I am fortunate.
Creating a spellcasting focus. Oh, same thing as the mithril armor. We're gonna have to make a custom item for it.
okay,
I'll make the arcane focus.
okay, I'll learn how to make an item here. I want to try it because I'm RPing actually crafting it. So I want to try and make it in the sheet.
At some point, Glissando, the muse of center, curls around the corner. His attention almost pulled at one of the windows outside to some of the torchlight near the area where the wagons are kept, stables. Turns and says, "Oh, well-wishers, is that your coffin out there?
It is.
Is there like a body inside?"
Technically, yes. Oh, no, there is. I mean, it's not humanoid, if that's what you're asking.
It wasn't, but pretty gnarly either way.
That is our draft animal, the hearse.
Oh, all right. Seems like you all have gotten into some stuff since we last met. Well, carry on.
Oh, yeah.
Tyne, what's the name of your staff? Do you want me to just call it like +1 staff or something like that?
Yeah, I hadn't named it.
Staff.
Yeah.
Staff.
All these C words named weapons.
I keep forgetting I have a wand of magic missiles.
You should use that.
To be fair, you use your action pretty well.
+1 walking staff. That's very true.
Snapping, healing.
The
Kinda.
refresh my memory on artificers. When they infuse an item, it requires attunement.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a magical item.
Create magical item. I have to add a description. This is a walking staff that is infused with magic. Cool.
It do zaps better.
It do the thing you think it do.
Do it real good.
Spell attacks. 1. Save. Add modifier. Bonus. Spell DCs. Spell save DC. 1. Save. Save change.
Not as good, but also pretty good. Out of curiosity, I ask him meta question: would there be any stones of good luck here?
Stones of good luck? Is that?
Yes.
Oh.
No, I just made it up.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see here. Stone of good luck.
Yeah.
Of good luck.
Tynar, check manage inventory and see if you can pull up +1 walking staff. Actually, you might just want to. Yeah, you have to look for walking staff, not +1 walking staff.
Oh. Found it.
I also,
Nice.
if anybody needs just the standard chainmail, I have one now.
Yeah, we could just sell that.
You just sell it. It would be worth. I'll look it up.
And you'll have to infuse it. Attune to it, Tynar. If you don't do that, it won't modify your spell DC. Thrilling content. Watch as everyone organizes their character sheets and adds items.
We did some
Part of the game. That's
Sometimes you gotta be at the menus.
it'd be 75 GP if we sell it.
That's not bad.
What?
Give me a high or low check. What do you mean?
We'll go high. We are just D20.
Mm-hmm.
It's always.
That's a 7.
Oh, I do not have that.
Well,
Cloak of protection, right?
That was the 3,500 one, yeah.
Looking for cloak of protection.
Isa.
Give me that luck rolls.
Oh, big money, no whammy, stop. Already, 20 plus 0. Hi. Yay!
Nice.
Protection. This is uncommon. They sell this for 2,000 gold pieces.
Oh, that's not even as bad as I thought it was going to be. Perfect.
Wait. All right. Sorry, 2,000. I was reading.
Yep.
303 HP, 25 AC, and just shitting my pants. Trying to figure out how you're going to try and kill him, and whatever you try to kill him with will obviously kill everybody else.
1,095.
2,000 gold pieces.
2,000. All right, who's going in on this?
I have, if I'm allowed to sell that chainmail since nobody needs it, I'd have 1,959 gold to contribute. That's all the gold that I have. You can have as much as you need.
That's quite a bit. I don't have any relevant money to add to this.
Tyne has money to add. There's nothing I think I'm going to buy.
So, yes, Jimmy?
I was gonna say, do they have a second cloak?
High or low? Luck check.
High. I can't be wrong twice, right, guys?
I mean, yes.
For 2,000 gold pieces.
You could do. Oh boy, 4,000 for 2 of them. So that makes that math easy.
Yeah, I can kick in like 1,900.
How much party gold do we have?
Oh, that's a good question. I think Opie was keeping track of that.
Maybe on the.
It's on the travel spreadsheet. Yeah. 440.
440?
Yes, sir.
Oh shit. Okay, that doesn't make the math better. 1,000 from everybody who pitched in for it. We got 2 cloaks.
I mean, I got 1937. I'm willing to throw all of it for a cloak for myself.
Well, we're splitting it 4 ways.
Yeah. I'll throw in 1,000.
Nick got a quest reward. I'm literally not gonna use armor.
Yeah. I want to contribute a little bit to it. So.
I've got like 90 gold if you guys are short, but that's all of my money. I don't have anything else.
Yeah, remember, we still need to hold on a little bit just in case we have costs and whatnot. So.
I have 1724 that I wasn't planning on using anywhere else.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying everybody just take 1,000 off and we don't have to worry about doing any more math with it.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
No, not Luke. There's just the 4 of us.
I know. I wasn't listening.
Okay.
I misunderstood because I specifically was not listening.
This, as you're all sort of resolving whatever else you may want to grab, this is probably a good place. This is a very climactic ending for a session. This is probably a good place to wrap up, only because you're at a Helper's Hand Guild. It'll be easy to pick back up, and I would like to have Amanda to have the opportunity to do like any of these, you know, final chapter purchases that she may want. So, this is probably a good place to wrap our session up. I mean, we can continue this off air.
Yeah. Riveting.
I mean, this is cool though. This is nice for you all. You know, you've been saving your goal. This is that point in the game where you're saving your goal, and you just got some really cool sort of in-game stuff. So this is maybe tantalizing to some people out there listening. Like, man, I wish I had that in my game. But yeah, that's a good place to wrap up, at least for the stream stuff. Thank you everybody for stopping in. Thank you so much, Distals and Pixelated Bunny, for coming in the lurk. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Discordian, of course. I'm happy to have you joining us. Thank you so much. Jigglypuff Love. It's a cute name. Thank you for popping in. Mama Bear, of course, too. Sarah, thank you for stopping in yourself. That was nice to see you pop in. Anybody else who may have been lurking or hanging out, I really appreciate it.
I think there's something we forgot to mention there, JSO. I think Mama Bear just had a birthday. Right? Excuse me. Maybe I misunderstood that wholly and totally. Forget all this. I'm just kidding. Okay.
I'll double check, because if that's true, I'm in trouble.
It's the gif with the guy who gets up from the boardroom and just jumps out the window. That's Kyle right now.
And someone just had a baby.
Hang on. Let me double check. Let me double check and see if it's close by here.
God, please don't be true. It's way funnier if it's not true.
Yeah, we'll just end the stream here, and I'll check outside of that, because that's funny. Thank you all for stopping in. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves out there. Drink plenty of water. We're not going to raid anybody, but we'll come back next week for more, hopefully with Opie Into. So thank you, everyone. Take care of yourselves. We'll be back next week. Goodbye, everybody!
Goodbye.
What do you guys think happened?
One of the players Robbie played with got carried away and killed him.
Well, that's kind of far out.
Mazes and Monsters is a far-out game. Swords, poison, spells, battles, maiming, killing.
Hey, it's all imagination.
Is it?